All right, we're gonna run back some green-white Ephemerate today. This felt very reasonable last week. I'm interested to see if it feels reasonable again today. For those of you that weren't here, Ephemerate lets you blink things for fun and value, and it has rebound, so it recasts itself the following turn. We got things like Thragtusk to blink, and Tolsimir, and Knights, and Visionaries, and Skyclaves, and Spellbinders, and Charming Princes to do it all again, and Yorion the Sky Noodle tying the room together, so you can ephemerate your Yorion to effectively ephemerate your entire board. Our deck gets to play Power Flight cards like Rest in Peace and Thalia with minimal drawback / downside to give us a reasonable Phoenix matchup, hopefully. So let's go ahead and dive on into some games with this and see how green-white Ephemerate feels today. Well, that's kind of a land. Brixis. Is there a memory lapse in my future? Temple spread against Tilt other lands? Yeah, something like that. Pretty sure this is a land at this point in the game, even with one more in hand. It's weird seeing Grixis and not having to figure out if I'm dead on turn 4, right? No Splinter Twin for you. I'll see if they play here, but we might just be jamming Tolsimir next turn. Eat the Nighthawk Scavenger with the Wolf. They may be packed. Oh, that's their second Fabled Passage. Hey, thanks for the 14 months, Mastermind. Good morning, good morning. And Captain Sisay is a playable historic card. Nope. Here's a good rule of thumb. If you see a card that's not regularly played in Historic, instead of asking yourself the question, is this playable, try and explain why it would be playable. And if you can't come up with a good answer, you have your answer. They took Prince Charming, chat. Take the hit here. Odd here. Let's do this. Need the Gifted Aetherborn. I think this is better than Thragtusk.
This isn't your average zombie force.
Well, that's worse for us than Thragtusk. They have a piece of spot removal for Yorion here. We're probably dead. Because even if I play this out, they have a zombie, right?
Rise.
Oh, a little late to the party, Spellbinder. Suppose the like blank, this kills this over 2 turns. Not a blink, got it. Alright, so Skyclave Apparition is gonna board out here. A little bit unfortunate that we drew 2 copies of a card that we want to board out in our first, handful of cards there. Honestly, probably trimming a Llanowar Elf too. Oh, Knight of Autumn doesn't really do much, right? Board in a Deccan Stone can clean up some tokens and stuff. You think they just be playing Grixis cards they like? Grixis Tradebinder, whatever you want to call it. Just a bunch of Grixis colored things with so it seems to be reasonable interaction. Bottom that, looking for more friends to blink or lands that don't hurt us. If I didn't have my 3rd land guaranteed, I'd probably keep that, but with the third land rolled up already. Honestly, wouldn't be surprised if we lose Wall of Blossoms. It's the card we want to play out next turn. Yeah, I think that's smart on the opponent's part to break up our curve. I don't really want to play Charming Prince out as a naked 2-drop. I want it to do something. Huh? So do I Ephemerate the Visionary? I think that's the plan. I think we start here. See what we draw. Alright, so getting punished for bidding the lands. And you know what? It could have been right to play the Wall of Blossoms there instead of... Yeah, I think I messed up. I think I was supposed to play Wall of Blossoms instead of the second ramp creature because of Extinction Event. So I lost a card draw here because I had that other one on Rebound. Hey, Fantasy's End. Thanks for continuing your sub gift. Welcome back. Spellbinder, yeah. Anyone else experiencing stream stutter? Nope, that's just on your end. I feel like this is probably a counterspell. It's probably enough pressure to get it out of them. Why didn't we cast Elite Spellbinder? Because I wanted to hit my land drop conscript. My deck is very resource hungry and wants to hit all of its land drops. This will come in, we'll draw a card, these will come in. We should be pretty done with this at this point. So this hits them. This comes back in. Exiles Nick. All of these come back in. This will exile Yorion. This will gain 3 life. We'll draw some cards. Charming Prince plus Yorion is very silly. It's the circus of value! This deck makes me dizzy. We do. The wheels on the Yorion do go round and round. Listen, chat, I don't know if this deck is good, but it's certainly great. Creatures go on the board, creatures go off the board. Creatures go on the board, creatures go off the board. Creatures go on the board, creatures go off the board. I think this deck will play Jamoka's Command. Yeah, probably in some amount. Jamoka's Command is just a good card. It does not, Jabrizi. A phased out card basically just ceases to exist while it's phased out. Why do I even bother? Why do I even bother? If you scry twice and put both cards back on top, is that never lucky or always lucky? Is it unlucky to not have needed your scry? Or is it lucky that you just like had the card you wanted on top already? Really surprised they didn't leave this back to protect her.
Oh, today's my lucky day.
I think it's worth doing this to use my mana here.
Now you've done it.
Withdraw and fire.
I guess this does mean I attack her for one less, which is meaningful. Yeah, she's sweet. She does a lot. Killing artifacts and enchantments is useful. Creature with flying. Generates card advantage. Yeah, Torch of Defiance can't murder her anymore, so that's nice.
This'll be easy.
This is the last deck of today. Yeah, we're just getting started with this one, but this is going to be my last Magic deck of the day. Shorter Magic streams today and tomorrow. Because we'll be doing all Magic later this week.
My newest friend.
Huh. I think it's just Visionary here. Nice. We'll take the thing that's not like the others. It turns out my instinct to generate a double spell turn was correct, though. I mean, our opponent's got a lot of sweepers, but we've got, like, a lot of things that draw cards at this point, right? It's like, I don't feel like we're in a terrible spot at the moment. Because, like, if they're sweeping the board, they're not killing Vivien. We, like, kind of have to worry about their Chandra at some point, but that's a few turns down the line. And, like, Thragtusk makes us a little bit resilient through a sweeper. In terms of applying pressure to Chandra.
Yup, you're going down.
Because remember, even if they exile Thragtusk, he still makes a friend.
Balance comes.
I mean, Luke, how many Wednesdays have I taken off in the last whatever? No Wednesday is not a normal day off. Tolsimir does clear the blocker, however, their sweeper also clears their blocker. It's close. I think there could be an argument to just taking another Thragtusk here. I have a dentist appointment Wednesday morning, and then I'm planning to stream all weekend with Historic Anthology 5 releasing, so I decided to just take the day off instead of doing a half day or a later stream. So I wonder if they thought they could cast this by shocking it in, but this is currently 8 because of Thalia, which is one of the reasons why we played Thalia this turn. And this is still 2 turns off of alting, 3 turns, 2 turns this turn plus 2 more. Are there deck lists for decks in the stream queue using HA5 cards? No, tomorrow morning we will be building decks on stream. Utilizing HA5 cards. Yeah, but if they're down-ticking Chandra on Thalia to cast Nicol Bolas, that's a win for us, because it means Chandra's no longer working towards her ultimate. So that's still a net positive for me. One of the things I have to manage here is keeping her off of
No one
ulting.
knows the wilds like I do.
Hey, Andrew, thanks for the prime. I appreciate that. Welcome back. They just didn't want to cast Bolas. Casting Bolas isn't very good for them here, chat. Like, casting Bolas kills the Vivien, but then the Bolas dies. Because I have creatures in play. Yeah, Vivien's great in these grindy matchups. Got my monthly advertisement reminding me to use Prime. Yep. She does threaten to ult eventually, which is pretty good. Creature control get 2/2 vigilance, trample, indestructible, so they have to respect her eventually. Like in here, they get to name Odd with this, but then if they're down-ticking Chandra to finish the beast token, that's a win for me, because it means their planeswalker is no longer threatening to ult me. I honestly wouldn't be surprised to see this down tick and hit this here. Like, she's taking 3 either way, right? Unless this is exactly Fatal Push. If this is exactly Fatal Push, we're going to be in trouble. They have a way to kill this without having to down tick her. I have to imagine if they're not Fatal Pushing this, they're down ticking the Chandra. They could gamble and plus, hoping to hit a Fatal Push out of the deck, but that seems not great. Hey, Mello, thanks for the 39 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Oh, did my opponent disconnect? That's unfortunate. This is a really good game. Maybe I'll shoot.
You can't stop nature.
I did board out Skyclaves, yes. What's going on, Rodford? Thanks for the year and a half.
Time to fight fire with fire.
I feel like we were ahead this game. Obviously, we're more ahead since they missed their Chandra activation last turn. Looks like they might be. Okay, they're back. I still have a Clue and a Sky Noodle in the bank here. Even if they answer my Vivien. Like this can come in and shoot Vivien, and like this can shoot this. And then we clean their Planeswalker up.
Feel the burn.
God, once again.
Hey, congrats on finding a new gig, Fabs. Love to hear the good news.
Your existence is pointless.
Why you gotta come at me like that? Nicol Bolas? My existence is pointless? Why must you hurt me in this way?
Schemes have been foiled.
Hey, Tiago, thank you for the 2 years. It's been a hot second. Yes, Chandra previously could redirect her +1 damage to Planeswalkers. Before these damn Zoomers came in and changed the rules. This is our second deck of the day. It's our first match with it. It's been a doozy of a match, that. Yeah, but like still having a Chandra in play would just be one more card, so. Yes, she used to be better than she currently is. Okay, look at what my creature deck ground through. Just like mono sweepers.
Come to me.
Come to me. Too much value, chat. I did see the breakdown of the person that tried to reverse engineer how the Magic Arena algorithm system works, and it's interesting to say the least. It's for the 16-month Spawn Gripper. Could we have a mod grab the write-up on that, make a command for it? Because I'm sure now that I mentioned it, people are going to ask for links. I haven't really had a chance to, like, sit down to sit down and digest the actual math in it myself, but which is why I didn't bring it up to talk about today myself. I like skimmed the this is what we did and this is what our results are. How could you reverse engineer something clearly not made by engineers? I've not done the homework on is the math good? But assuming the math is good, it's actually a really interesting system from the perspective of this encourages everyone to keep playing. From a competitive integrity, your ladder is a good measure for measuring player skill. It's not good. But from a your ladder should encourage people to play Magic perspective, it's actually quite good. And I assume the general feedback has been displeasure with the system as it's highlighted there, but I personally don't know that I think it's necessarily bad. All right, so probably Phoenix. I want to bring in a bunch of cheap interaction here. I want to bring in Vivien to shoot down their flyers. Probably a Rest in Peace matchup, huh? This doesn't block at all. Maybe this comes out. Do I want Rest in Peace? I don't know that they're a Phoenix deck. I guess we probably assume that they are. Maybe Thraben Inspectors too, Mopey. Even Wall of Blossoms. So the 20 months just to per. Gosh, Machination, I hate, like... you've got a sword. Oh no, I fragged Precipic by mistake when I meant to frag Machination. Oh no. Is this incredibly narrow card too narrow for the sideboard? 1, yes. But 2, if you want to present a card that you think we should be playing in the sideboard, explain why you think it's good. And if you can't explain why you think it's good, it's probably not. And 2, like, why would I want to play an incredibly narrow card like that over a flexible, reasonable answer like Baffling End or Deckenstone? That's the question you need to ask yourself. Why would I play this mediocre bad card instead of this reasonable removal spell that's going to be good in multiple places? Now, if you want to make a command, that would be great, Fekarax. Thanks for the 20 months, Simeon. Welcome back. I agree with Precipic, by the way. I'm not actually sure that Rest in Peace is good against Phoenix. Sure, but like, so when I ask someone to explain why they think a card is good, I'm not expecting to always agree with what they're saying, but what I am expecting is if they take the time to write out why they think a card is good, it will help me understand where they're coming from and we can have a discussion about it. It'll let me say, okay, this is why they think this is good. And sometimes I do get swayed. It's like, oh, I hadn't thought about it that way. That's a good suggestion. Let's try it. The various forms of graveyard hate in this format will simply be varying degrees of this is better in certain edge cases and worse in others is what it comes down to. So you'll pick and choose which types of situations you want to hedge, basically. I wonder they intended to get that land tapped or not. Or if that was a misclick.
Beasts are much more reliable than he. I've seen things that would break someone like you.
Break someone like you. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of different cards that are designed after players' text.
Oh, so it's going to be like that, huh?
It's going to be like that, huh?
Come to me.
Come to me. I'm gonna put Noodle into play here because Noodle protects Vivien. Actually, Noodle resets Vivien too here, right? She comes in at 5, right? Right? Someone fact check me. She comes in at 5 and goes to 6. Yeah.
Not
So blinking resets her here.
wild animals I like. People, not so much.
Maximus and Bill Blue, thanks for the follows. Welcome to the channel this morning. Can't counter Fry. Counter this. Rip's value does go up here since they're on Ox for sure.
No one knows the wilds like I do.
Go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep, little phoenix. If you had blinked the Vivien, would you have been forced to not block? Yeah, but I wanted to kill the Arclight. Like I have the extra noodle and I had the rest in piece in hand, so I think killing the Arclight and getting the shock out of their hand there is a positive for us. I think that was a good exchange overall.
You can't stop nature.
It's the circuits of value. Yeah, I think we've solidly hit garbage time at this point. Their deck doesn't really. I guess I could like have Crackling Drake maybe, but I have Vivien at 7, so we're probably insulated there. Looking at your chat history, it says you have 1 timeout, Jabrizi. It looks like your notification didn't pop up, Durka, but you are currently subbed. Welcome back.
Feel the wrath of Scala.
Yeah, Crackling Drake is like an anti-graveyard hate card. That's why these decks play it. Because it counts cards in exile. Well, they can't fry Thragtusk. Fry is only white and blue cards. Hey, Failure. Thanks for re-upping. Welcome back for the second month. Yeah, for reference, Precipic, I agree with you that against just Phoenix, Rest in Peace is kind of meh. But against Ox 2, that definitely pushes it up over the top. If you're on the desktop, Durka, refresh your browser page. You should be able to send the notification through. Feel like I've been telling people about that bug for literal years. Listen, Conscript, there's two types of people in the world. People who enjoy pineapple on pizza and people who are wrong. Listen, we don't shy away from the controversial topics here on this channel, okay? Pineapple on pizza, politics, nothing is out of bounds, really. We just tell it like it is, okay? What if you drink the pineapple? All right, listen, chat. Drink them. I know what that's in reference to, and now you all have to experience this. So last night, my wife was giving me shit because I don't eat applesauce. I drink it. And it turns out 75% of the people on my Twitter also consume applesauce in the wrong way. Okay, listen. Applesauce is like an apple smoothie. You don't eat it, you drink it, okay? It is a drink. And I will stand by that. There you go, Durka. Nailed it. To be fair to you, Durka, it's definitely a Twitch bug. It's not an issue on your end. There's a verse in the Bible against what you're doing in that picture. Right, get rid of young Pyromancer here. Ari and Dante, thank you for the 2/3 of a year. Welcome back. So my opponent spent 2 mana on this, so I could Skyclave Apparition it, right? That's how that works? Is that how that works, chat? I could Skyclave Apparition this one, because they paid 2 mana for it? In paper? Sure. Yep, big mood. Talking about the return of paper magic. Magic has a paper format. It's something that they're going to be beta testing once COVID is passed. I don't think you can actually spend money to get that Faithless Looting Art, right? Can you buy that Faithless Looting Art for money? I thought you had to play in like a stupid event. Are they selling it for dollars now? They should sell it for money at some point, but I don't believe you can currently get it for money. If we can find an untapped land here, Sky Noodles could save us. Yeah, I think we're dead at this point, right? Needed a 5th land tier before. For this point. 10 out of 10 mods agree getting timed out is good for the soul. Sure, you know. Is there a reason to not exile the token with Skyclave? Yes, the rules text of Skyclave. Probably want to brush up on the rules text of the magic cards if you're going to be a judge, CJ. Come on now. They frown upon judges not being able to read the magic cards. Speaking as someone who has a lot of experience playing paper Magic, a significant part of judging is reading Magic players' cards to them because Magic players are largely illiterate. Those are always the best judge calls. They call a judge and they ask him how a card works. The judge just like comes over and reads the card word for word to the Magic player, and the player's like, oh yeah, that makes sense. It's just like, yep. Gosh, dingies. Thanks for the brand new tier 1 sub. I appreciate the support. Welcome to the channel. Hey, good games. Good luck in the rest of your lettering today. I think we're supposed to do this. My hand is pretty weak, and trying to get deeper into my deck feels appealing. I could be right to just play a 4-3 out, though. Make my 2-2 not block here. Oh, really? Okay. Yo. Dodge a 4-power creature, we can dodge ball. We're not particularly good at dodgeball this morning, chat. Alright, so need to hit Thragtusk off the top here to maybe have a shot. Still dead to Embercleave even if we do. Okay. Never not dead to cleave, chat. Spellbinder's a little slow and mopey here. Honestly, I think I'm going to trim a couple of these. You have a decent land count, and it's tough to find time to fit this in. If your audio is distorting, refresh your Twitch page. That's a Twitch bug. Oh, or it was the Embercleave sound effect continuing to crackle. Yeah, that's very possible. Deck the halls with boughs of burning tree. Fa la 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 la. So they're no longer clueless, but this should buy us some much needed tempo here. Go to 13, no blocks. I'm gonna run back the no blocks again here, I think, and plan to just Sky Noodle next turn. I only take 13 if they cleave me here. Hey, Blade, thanks for the 21 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. All right, if we could dodge land second cleave, we're in a great spot. Concession Noodle? It's garbage time. You don't have to go home, but you can't play here. It's the circus of value. That's the joke, Jet. Man, Embercleave, double collected company, still crushed him. Bioshock was fun. A couple of the game mechanics in it didn't age super well, but the core story is really good. If you want to re-experience Bioshock, it's been some time, and you don't want to play through it yourself, there's a playlist. It's about 10 hours. It's up on my YouTube channel. Good for a weekend binge. Or trip down to Rapture. I did play the Infinite DLC, yeah, we did Bioshock 1, Bioshock Infinite, and both Infinite DLCs. Those are all up on the YouTubes. Okay, so I think we Baffling End the Brawler and then play Thraben Inspector here. And then next turn we'll get to play this plus this maybe. Defense! Defense! With this draw, we definitely play it and kill the elf here, huh? I think I need to do this because it forces the cleave out of them if they have it. Huh? No, because I want to block with the wolf. Well, I guess blocking the questing beast is that better? Does that save me more in the long run? That might save me more in the long run. You might be right. And again, if you ephemerate Skyclave Apparition in response to its enters play trigger, they do not get the token. So we'll get to exile the questing beast and the spellbreaker, and they get no token. Good day, sir. You get nothing! The circus of value! All right, and then next turn we have draw Sky Noodle, play Sky Noodle rolled up. So we're done here. Hi, friend. Been watching for longer than 7 months, but I always forget to use my beta bucks. Thanks for making content I enjoy. I appreciate your analysis of lines as you go. Thanks for 7 months, Scuttles. I appreciate that. Chastity, thanks for re-upping that prime for the 2nd month. Welcome back. Abyssal 29 has been a hot second. Morning, good morning. This deck is hot, hot, hot. Do 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 do. This deck proven or high potential? I forget. I don't remember where I put it. It might have been fan favorite, if I'm being honest. Hey, Kodio, thanks for extending your sub. Welcome back.
Those who cannot own your prowess.
Prison cards are fun, chat.
With thoughtfulness before action.
Fun and engaging. Lightning Helix. Come on, play a search for Azcanta. Thank you. Thank you.
I won't forget our time together.
Are the Snarls playable? Now, I'd assume these are a budget choice on the opponent's part. These are definitely worse than playing check lands. They bend 5 mana Teferi. That's interesting. It's a shame they had the Wrath of God there. Would have been able to Yorion the what's it called this turn? The search for Azcanta. I guess it's that one. I'm trying to hit a land drop here. Oh, I could crack the clue to do it again in response. Didn't think about that. Maybe that was right.
I'm known for my excellence. You know what? I'm not done.
Correct. You do not get the rebound if it gets countered. I don't know, it probably doesn't matter. I don't know that we're beating this Teferi plus this counterspell plus this Azcanta. Believe it or not. I mean, it's a lot more than 3 cards a turn. It's 2 cards plus an incredible amount of card selection. The other, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the channel this morning. Oh, Abundant Harvest.
I'm getting too old for this.
Yes, if they memory lapse the rebound, we get the card back. Is correct.
Hold that thought.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and concede here at this point. And this is why I think so many people, especially newer Magic players, I see bitch about the Jeskai deck a lot. Like when the Jeskai deck has you beat, they're not actually going to kill you for like another half a dozen turns. You have to have enough experience playing Magic to know you should be conceding, which is a feel bads for a lot of newer players, especially. I'm gonna trim my Skyclaves, bring in some more Knight of Autumns. A lot of the things we want to kill are enchantments anyways. I'm gonna trim these Llanowar Elves because I want higher average card quality in my deck. It's not strictly true. I'm gonna split the difference between these. Tolsimir's only okay in this matchup. I think replacing Tolsimir with Kolga is a huge punt in this archetype. I'd encourage you to go back and watch any of the Gruul matchups that we've played if you're thinking about doing that. It's a 2-lander, chat. Sphinx's Revelation is already legal and historic. It's just not good enough, Leluc. Sphinx's Revelation is one of those cards that people have bad memories of from Standard, but it's actually not good enough for a format like historic. Yes, Elite Spellbinder, so nice, we'll draw it twice. Alright, so they have Brainstorm. No, they were holding Brainstorm because they knew I was drawing Elite Spellbinder. People play Sphinx's Revelation, they're just Jeskai decks, they're looking to feel nostalgic, not because it's good.
The focus and discipline. I have just the trick for this.
Going on, Bach. Thanks for the 22 months. Welcome back. Morning, good morning.
Keep an open
We're
mind.
probably dead again at this point, right?
I'm not.
Babooey. Thank you for the 40 months. Welcome back. Yeah, I agree, Prospect. I think there's a chance, and we've talked about this before. Memory lapse would be my next card on the on the archives on my watch list for Historic. We're not getting back to Bant GCG today. All of the decks in the deck queue are decks that are waiting for HA5 cards, Ace Tiger. Today's actually going to be the last Magic deck we're playing today. And then tomorrow, today's actually going to be the last Magic deck we're playing until Thursday. So tomorrow morning stream, if you look at the stream queue on my website, there's a bunch of decks in there waiting to be built. We'll be building all of those together tomorrow on stream, as well as updating deck lists on my website that want Historic Anthology 5 cards. And then I'm taking Wednesday off, and then Thursday HA5 releases. Drink and Bake, thanks for the 10 months. Welcome back. Yeah, no problem, McDucks. Well, this deck like Jamoka's Command, I don't know. Like, Jamoka's Command needs larger creatures to be reasonable a lot of the time, or it needs to benefit from the 1/1 counter in some way. I mean, the short, brutal answer, Archangel, is that, like, the opponent's archetype hasn't been posting results anywhere for a reason, and that reason is it's probably bad. If it was good, it'd be posting results places. There hasn't been a shortage of Historic tournaments. Honestly, I think I'm just gaining some life. I just want to get this into play so we can get Yorion looping. We'll see if Thragtusk plus Yorion and stuff can outpace, their collected company spirits. Even if they have Lofty Null, I wouldn't expect them to cast it here. I assume they want to cast collected company. No, Thragtusk is a pretty unique effect. You can't really replace it. Especially considering, like, in some other decks you might be able to replace it, but in this deck specifically, where we're like doing things with like Yorion and Ephemerate, you can't really replace Thragtusk. Nah, there aren't that many green-white things in the format, Hacker. Little punishing for the fact that I played out Prince proactively. Man, do they have another collected company? Oh, they're just doing this? Sure. Oh, right, this is a spirit, technically. That's cute. It's the circus of value! We'll get to go Thragtusk into Charming Prince next turn. Okay, so they shocked in, so they just plan to... They're planning to Nebelgast Herald here, I would assume. Alright. Bringing in the removal, bringing in Viviens to shoot their things from the sky, trimming Night of Autumn, trimming Thraben Inspector. Should we have played Prince first in case they had locked it? Yeah, probably. If you're just joining us today, and this is the first time you've seen this deck, that means you probably aren't following my YouTube channel or checking out the historic decks on my website. Great resources, finding lots of off the beaten path things our second time playing this one on stream, and it's been a lot of fun. Deadeye Navigator would be pretty good in this deck, wouldn't it? Nah, I think it would be clunky and slow and bad. Yeah, it's way too much mana. And it involves flashing of colors, like you're messing up your mana to play a clunky, slow, bad card. Like, this format isn't EDH, like you don't have time for that. Built like 3 decks on your website now. I love the copy to clipboard feature. Yeah, the Stream Decker plugin works really well. Shout out to the dev that made that possible. Yeah, if Restoration Angel was legal, this deck would play that card in a heartbeat. That card costs 4 mana and it blocks reasonably. They're gonna rattle or change, chap. Alright, so... what if we, like, Baffling plus Llanowar this turn? I'm kind of into it. I suppose the way this works, if they have they had a Kira there, we would have gotten in trouble. Thanks to the 28 months, Suna. Welcome back. Second, the shock implied it wasn't second Rattle Chains. Restoration Angel is not Pioneer legal. It's an Avacyn Restored card. Right? Is that Avacyn Restored? I forget. Is that AVR? I think that's AVR. Isn't she pretty, chat? It's gorgeous. Gorgeous artwork. She's gorgeous. I think if they counterspelled this, we're ephemerating the Wall of Blossoms to try and hit a land. Miracle's a bad mechanic? I think Miracle's a sweet mechanic, especially with Brainstorm in the format. Okay, well, I mean, that's a good one to know about. And now, I am going to go ahead and ephemerate this because it untaps it, so it can block this 3/3. Multiple land drop. Sweet. You really want to get Miracle Terminus in Historic? I mean, yes. I don't think that Miracle Terminus makes Jeskai any more offensive than it is now. They are excellent esports cards, chat. That much is definitely true. No, Ponder is too good. I've really liked the inclusion of card selection they've put into Historic so far. Ponder's a really toxic, powerful design. You know, maybe I should have Baffling End the Sailor here, since their card advantage. Jeskai, one of the best decks in Historic. It is, yeah. It's one of the better performing archetypes. Go to Chris. It's both miserable to play against, and it's one of the better decks in the format. You guys supposed to save by Ramp Dork and Yorion there? I can see that. We take the Nebelgast Arrow because it taps my blockers. That's annoying. It definitely feels like we've hit garbage time at this point, right? The Charming Prince Sky Noodle loop starts next turn. Well, you know. Five, 6, 7, 8, 9 mana, so I can do this and still draw and play this. Tolsimir's so good, chat. Pounce. Thanks for the follow, Wizard Went. Welcome to the channel this morning.
Wild wasn't meant to be contained. Balance
Welcome to the circus of value. The wilds weren't meant to be contained. me. Oh no! Rattle chains, chat! They got us! They tapped our Yorion! They saved their Nebelgast! We'll never be able to win the game now. Alright, back to the drawing board, chat. We'll have to figure this out somehow. Oh, and they're attacking my Vivien! Oh, no, not Vivien. I needed all of her loyalty to win this game, chat. Alright, everybody back on the bus. Like, you can get fully blown out by this, settle and still win. Yeah, we could just, like, throw a bunch of creatures away and get a bunch of basic lands. Alright, let's try and get one more sweet set in. It's been a good one. If it's your first time catching this one, we played this one for like 2 hours last week too. It was great then as well. Ended up throwing it up on the website. Great resource for deck lists that are sweet and historic. Tomorrow morning, in addition to building decks that we're going to be playing on stream, we'll also be updating decks on the website that I think want historic Anthology 5 cards. This deck just needs a Kiki Chiki and a Core Calling. Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. Lurrus could be a few different things. I think Arcanus is probably the best of our Lurrus matchups, if I had to wager a guess with this deck. Rogues are a little tough because we got a lot of expensive things. We'll play Llanowar out here so we can go Skyclave on 3 into Thragtusk on 4. Excuse me? Deal. Yeah, Thragtusk is nutty against Arcanus. Makes you tough to burn out. Makes a lot of bodies. But Noble Hierarch create toxic play patterns in the Stark. I think I'd rather see Birds of Paradise than Noble Hierarch. I think Birds of Paradise is the more iconic card, and it's also slightly less powerful. I think Snapcaster Mage is too good. Yeah, Fatal Push doesn't really matter here, right? Other Village Right saying, sure. That just means I can Ephemerate this later and not give them anything back, right? Nah, I think Bob would be fine. Historic has a pretty high curve that you want to play in fair deck, so Bob has a very real drawback. Although, Dark Confident might also be a card that pushes Lurrus too far over the top. But I think even without Dark Confidant, like, my current historic watch list is Lurrus and Memory Lapse. Do I give them a turn with Pyromancer here? Like, do I care about a couple of 1/1s is the question. I think the answer to that question is no. I think we just jam a Thragtusk. Because if I determine I care about potentially them having potentially a couple of 1/1s, I would play Charming Prince, blink Skyclave, and hold Ephemerate up. But I think I want to get Thragtusk into play before I Ephemerate, so that way the back half of my Ephemerate can blink the Thragtusk. Faithless Looting seems like it's probably a good draw for them, because their hand seems like it's got to be super clunky based on how they've played this game so far. They just discarded 2 lands. I imagine this is going to provide a ton of fixing for them. So we're going to lose Ephemerate here, which is this is a little bit of the danger of letting them have the Pyromancer for a turn. Is like, now we might not be able to answer it. Really? Really? Okay. Okay. Are we killing the Thragtusk that's already in play then? Or, yeah, they have an Inquisition? Yeah, it must be, it means Inquisition or they're killing the Thragtusk already in play, right? Those are the 2 modes here? Okay, yeah. Listen, chat, I don't know if this deck is good, but it's certainly great, okay? It's certainly great. The Circus of Value. Oh no, you triple blocked my beast. Got me. How will I ever recover from this? Yeah, and like, I have Rest in Peace in my sideboard Precipic just because I'm worried about graveyard combo decks that just like incidentally comes in here and turns their deck off. Nah, I think there's a chance they block my Skyclave with no cards under it if I attack with it, because I have Ephemerate in hand. Yeah, I have Rest in Peace, Deck and Stone, and a couple of Baffling Ends of the sideboard, so our board here is definitely well set up. It's the Circus of Value! Goodbye, friends. We need a Circus of Value emote? That's probably a good idea. Like a circus tent with the word value underneath it. Now, opponent, there's an Ephemerate on rebound, opponent. Oh wait, are they gonna? Oh, they can give it haste, right? So they give it haste, and then what can they do? They can like village rights, I guess. Oh no, not fatal push. Oh man, now I gotta take this hit because they fatal pushed my wolf chat? We're down to 31. I don't know how we will ever recover from this loss. Oh wait, back to 34, never mind, crisis averted. False alarm. Now, I wanted to hold the knight in my hand there in case they had a Croxa. It was discard fodder. Okay, so Rip, Deck, Baffling End, Vivien, all fine here. Knight of Autumn and Spellbinder out. Don't really care about the cards in their hand. Want my stuff to play to the board. Knight of Autumn, they don't really have artifacts and enchantments that we care about. What are my last couple of trims here? Could just be Llanowar Elves. That's usually my trim in the grindier matchups. We have 33 lands plus copies of... I think I'd rather have Inspector than Llanowar Elves, yeah. We have 33 lands plus 4 Abundant Harvest, so I think showing the mana sources is fine. Thalia does tax Arcana's flashbacks, but I don't know that she's really good enough. I don't know that she's better than any of the other cards I already have. So close to being a 2-lander, champ. So close. Thought sees me, daddy. Keeping 1 land harvest is risky against this archetype for this reason, too. I assume we're losing Skyclave here. It's our answer to their Arcanist. I think, especially with the second one drawn, I'm going to choose non-land here to give myself the best possible chance to have an Arcanist answer next turn. It was also, like, that first hand wasn't keepable at all because I couldn't cast that card, but I'm saying in general it's a risky keep, Exaplegic. That's true. I can see that. Maybe if we lose this game, we'll try Thalia on the play over the Viviens and the 3rd Llanowar Elf. I don't hate that. Elvalang, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the channel this morning. Brain Eater, thanks for the 3rd of a year. Welcome back. Well, might be drawing a noodle next turn. If they have lands 3-4 on curve here and have Crocs on 4, we could be in trouble. To get into Historic, do you buy the anthologies individually? No. In fact, almost all of the anthologies they've printed so far are awful, and I'd recommend against buying them. If you're interested in building a historic collection, start with lands. Buy Ravnica and Ravnica's Allegiance until you have 40 shock lands. Then buy Zendikar to get the pathways out of there. Then buy Strixhaven. I feel like I should make a short video. Maybe we'll do a top 5 sets you need to buy to get into Historic and why. Let's do it. I'm gonna write that down. Top 5 things to buy to get into Historic. I'm gonna be off Wednesday from being live. But I plan to post a top 5 video on Wednesdays, so we can do that then. Now, I actually disagree with that, Precipic. I think it's Shocklands, then Zendikar because of Pathways and Boltlands and other miscellaneous cards that are playable there, and then Strixhaven because of the archives. Yeah, Paul Diamond Pathways 2. There'll be a video on Wednesday. I'm gonna break down what I think is important and why. Because should I buy historic anthologies is a question that comes up a lot, and the answer is generally no. No, I actually disagree with that, TDM. I think, so this most recent one will be a deviation, but in general, archives not always being up there, I think saves players some grief, because in general, you really shouldn't be buying, the historic anthologies. Most of them are crap. You'd like a Tolsimir or a Thragtusk here. Tolsimir would be ideal because it would eat Young Pyromancer. Rest in Peace would also be good to get rid of the Kroxa. I think this means we're dead. So I get to Kroxa me next turn. No, we are not, Pixie. That's exactly what we were talking about. How the latest anthology is a deviation from the generally you shouldn't buy them. Yeah, rest in peace. Coming one card too late here. Honestly, I think I might just be conceding. I don't think I want to show them rest in peace. I think we're too far gone even without them escaping Kroxa. Let's try Thalia on the play. It feels like it is likely that the games we lose are the ones where they get under us, and she can prevent that, especially when we're on the play. Is that a Horizons 2 card press a pick? Or is it a D&D card? That's Horizons. Is it D&D? You gotta check the set symbol. Yeah, that sounds like it's probably Horizons card. Yeah, this is fine. For the most part, the plan is just like don't mulligan against the discard decks. I assume they're gonna take Wall of Blossoms here. I'd prefer they take Charming Prince. I want to get my cards going. Yep, thanks. Especially with this draw. This turns Wall of Blossoms into Divination. Well, opponent also apparently doesn't believe in mulliganing, but not because we're playing a discard deck. Maybe it's wrong to use this proactively. It's like now they can kill this if they want, and then I don't get to draw another card. I have no idea, Leon Dav. I don't know that they've told us that far out. Hey, thanks for subbing 3 months in advance, Monkey. I appreciate the commitment. I mean, it's not like we're doing anything that's going to punish them here, so they've got some time. I mean, like, this is not the opponent getting magic, chat. The opponent kept 7 cards this game. This is them having a bad keep. Like, we're not playing a Thoughtseize deck. Like, there's zero reason for them to keep the hand that they kept. Hey, I appreciate it, Monkey. I wouldn't be here without folks like you. If you're free next weekend, our next Hoaglandia Open is going to be coming up on Sunday the 30th. If you're interested in playing some Historic, or if you just want to watch, you know, come hang out. We'll be doing coverage all day. Okay. They took both my Thragtusks. We have a game here, as they say. I'm just going to cantrip my noodle here. If we keep flooding, they can get back in here. Yep. Our deck only has 29 actual lands in it. We have 4 bolt lands. Who's ghosting? Covert Go Blue will be joining me again for this weekend's event. Okay, so we're throwing away Dreadhorde Arcanist to take my Skyclave Apparition then? Is that the plan? Oh no, we're killing this. Sure. How many lands is it for a normal Yorion deck? 34, 35. Depends on what your curve looks like. I mean, Thalia's like annoying, but she's not a card that like literally wins the game, no. Yorion's a great pickup here. It means if they deploy another threat, I can Yorion draw a card, plus Skyclave their next threat, which is nice. Hopefully they like deploy another Arcanist or like a Pyromancer or something here. Nice. Yeah, Thalia prevents them from... That's phenomenal. Hey, Zimbal, thanks for the brand new Prime support. There's a ton of great people who can send that to every single month here on Twitch. Thanks for sending it this way this month. Morning, good morning. We can ephemerate our friends at will here. This gives us a lot of breathing room to beat a lot of possible combinations of cards again. Thalia looking really good here. Good suggestion on bringing that in onto the sideboard. It's really undervalued her taxing effect here. Come to the circus of value! Yeah, I'm gonna be interested to see how prevalent main deck, Relic ends up being in this format. Nah, if my opponent played a threat out, I have this coming back in the following turn, so I think that's fine. That's sweet. I like this. I like this deck a lot. This is card for card, the same build that's up on the site that we played last week, and honestly, I don't really think I have any changes to make to it. Oh, it's technically a couple of cards off. Last week we didn't play the extra knights on the board. We concluded we wanted those at the end. Yeah, it feels like a pretty good mix of things. You know, we've got the value plan with Yorion and Ephemerate to these various top-end things to stay alive against aggro. We've got Spellbinder and Skyclave as little bits of disruption/interaction. The Charming Prince Yorion loop is just like so obnoxious and sweet in a lot of spots. We've got Rest in Peace and Thalia here out of the sideboard as various anti-combo pieces. The one thing that feels kind of lacking that I honestly don't know that we have a good fix for is Resolved Teferi is something that we don't have a way to take off the table, which is a big deal. I wonder if we're supposed to try something like Elspeth Conquers Death. That technically has synergy with Yorion. These are only creatures, right? Yeah, but it still has synergy with Yorion. I wonder if maybe I don't know that I'm gonna recommend that offhand, but I think if you wanted to continue testing and working on this deck, I would want to think about answers to Teferi. I don't think Questing Beast is good enough because Questing Beast doesn't kill Teferi when he comes in and goes up to 5. So like, I want a card that can kill Teferi when he comes into play in pluses on an empty board. So you could try Shifting Ceratops because that is the 5th point of power, but Elspeth Conquers Death, and cards like Cast Out and Excellence Binding aren't answers, chat. The Jeskai deck has lots of ways to interact with enchantments. So those are temporary solutions to a very permanent problem. So I would want to test something like either Ceratops or Conquers Death. I think would be worthwhile slots. And these Viviens are kind of like my control slot in the sideboard. She did come in against something like Phoenix, but I think losing her there wouldn't be the biggest deal. So I think I would try that. Yeah, this deck would love Veil of Summer, for sure. You'd probably play 3 to 4 copies of Veil and be super happy about it. But in the meantime, in between time, I think trying to answer the control deck sustained card advantage is where you want to be. So like, you have 4 Knight of Autumns post board to kill things like Search for Azcanta, and something like Conquer's Death would let you clean up the Planeswalkers would be nice. Yeah, Ceratops is probably worth the consideration too. So that or Conquer's Death would be the two things I would want to try, I think. All right, at any rate, I'm going to be wrapping up on Magic a little bit earlier today and tomorrow just to pull. My schedule is always up on my Twitter page each week for reference for those that aren't familiar. So today and tomorrow, we're doing a little bit shorter Magic streams in the morning. In fact, tomorrow morning, we're actually not going to be playing Magic at all. We're going to be doing deck building all morning. So I've got on my website here, you can always see what's going to be coming up into the stream queue, and all of these decks are various things that involve historic anthology cards up here. So we're going to be building deck lists and filling in deck links for all of these tomorrow morning. And then we're also going to go through the various historic decks that are up here on my website that we've played previously. And we're going to be theory crafting which of these want extra cards from, whether it's Grizzly Salvage or different commands, stuff like that. So we're going to be updating the 30 lists that are on here, and honestly, skimming over them, I'd be surprised if there's even 10 or 12 lists that want commands. Like, these commands won't go into literal everything. K command will slot into a number of things for sure. It's the most flexible easily, but so we'll be building new decks, and then for the queue, and then updating these as well. So at any rate, for the remainder of today's stream, for the next 3 or 4 hours, we're going to be continuing my Ghost of Tsushima playthrough on the PlayStation, because that game's been a lot of fun. Remember, if you want to see more Magic content for myself, check out my YouTube channel and my website. A lot of great stuff up in both of those places. I encourage you to hang out while we slash our way through the island of Tsushima in Japan. We're about 12 hours in at this point.